We are 11 seconds in and I'm already miserable. Hayley Williams tells Paramore fans they are dead to her if they vote for Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis. For those of you who do not know, and I don't know how you could, Ron DeSantis is running for president in the 2024 elections.
Very upsetting.
Against the greatest president of all time, not Joe Biden. We have a lot of thoughts about Ron DeSantis for being the governor of Florida and being just a general
menace to society.
Yeah, how would I put this? Fuck ass. Yeah, he has done some pretty fucking like just awful shit to people of all different walks of life and all different marginalized backgrounds in Florida, and is using that to propel himself into the limelight and fame and fortune and platinum records. And Hayley Williams was not feeling that shit. Paramore singer Hayley Williams vehemently spoke out against conservative presidential candidate and current Florida Governor Ron DeSantis during a concert in New Jersey last week.
I'll be happy to tell you, I'm very fucking comfortable talking politics. And if you vote for Ron DeSantis, you're fucking dead to me.
I want to see how many people said boo and like left.
So is that comfortable enough for anyone?
Some guy over there. I tend to lean on the side where I'm like, thank you, Hayley. And also, why is this being talked about in New Jersey? As though, first of all, as though Ron DeSantis is going to win the nomination. We should also mention that he did a Twitter Spaces with Elon Musk in order to launch his campaign. That was an absolute train wreck.
Yes.
And they said, we broke the internet by trying to do radio on a website that's set up to do a lot more than the radio. Again, I say, fuck the radio, man. Look, come on, man. Also, I mean, this is an aside. This has nothing to do with really anything. But there's a story that Ron DeSantis was on an airplane and ate chocolate pudding out of the container with 3 fingers. What? And like did it in front of somebody interviewing him. This is a story that like has, I mean, I kind of believe it.
I was about to say, wait, is this a true story? But also, like, you wouldn't be doing an interview on a plane that's like flying.
They said that's like flying.
There's planes that are just sitting on the ground, Brian.
Yeah, I can only do this interview if this plane is in the air. If it's on the ground, we should not speak. And then just grabs a chocolate pudding and just digs his 3 little fingers in there and just eats it off his hand in front of an interviewer. And I'm like, yeah, I believe that. Anyway, speaking of not a good guy, I'm not happy that because of this thing at a concert where Hayley Williams said this, it got a lot of attention. This is a lot of articles written about this exact moment. And that ended up on the fucking Ben Shapiro.
I think it's crazy because I saw a couple like really bad takes that came through Twitter. And obviously I don't follow them because not this is how Twitter like uses their algorithm, but they're like, I just don't think that like bands should be political. I'm like, we've had this conversation time and time again. Shut the fuck up. They get to be political. They're humans.
If you, as a person, do not think the band should be political because it makes you not want to listen to them, stop listening to them. You're not mad they're being political. You're mad because it makes you uncomfortable and you don't want to listen to them anymore. Hey, then stop listening to them. Not my fucking problem. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares, Ron.
Listen, it's the same thing. Did people say Skillet shut the fuck up when they came out and they were like, I'm pro MAGA?
Nope.
And I'm pro the insurrection? No, everyone was like, wow, it's Skillet, the Christian rock band with one banger album that they put out like in the early 2000s.
All right, Lucy. All right.
And then that's it. Then you're like, yeah, wow. But they still tour because there's people who listen to it, but nobody was really telling them not to be political.
Trigger warning. Ben Shapiro is about to say some of the dumbest shit. We're not going to watch this whole video, but he teaches us about Paramore in this video, and he is about to say some awful shit about everybody, and he's about to make such awful fucking points about it.
Well, folks, you can always tell who the left hates by who they attack, who they fear by who they attack, and they're spending their days
like this normally,
right now,
like in conversation with like his poor wife.
technically, if my wife does not like my voice, then hypothetically, it is her fault that my voice, I am a man, I am a cisgender, heterosexual white man, as they would call me.
Not attacking Donald Trump, but attacking Ron DeSantis.
I am correct on my impression there, too. That is an accurate representation.
Imagine you're Ben Shapiro's kids, poor kids, and he's trying to like yell to discipline you, and you just like do not take him seriously
Now,
because of his
hypothetically,
voice.
you should clean up your toys when you are done playing with them. The capitalist agenda of the radical, whatever.
So Donald Trump, he says things on Truth Social. I do have to say, if he's running, a serious presidential campaign, why is he still on Truth Social?
Fine. This is a fine take.
Yeah, that's fine.
He has currently on Truth Social a few million followers. He has 87 million followers on Twitter. 87 million. Why is he not using that tool? I mean, the answer is pretty obvious. He's staying on Truth Social because he's invested in Truth Social, which does, raise a question about his priorities. Like, if you want to win a presidential race, why not appeal to the 87 million people on your Twitter page as opposed to the 5 people who are still on Truth Social? But in any case,
he looks miserable talking about this.
It's like we know your king has fallen, and now you have to.
No,
vote
he's on the DeSantis train. You're gonna find out here. He's on the DeSantis train.
No, I can tell with the way he's talking now.
Yeah, he was obviously pro-Trump, but he's very much pro-DeSantis.
That's
now.
why I'm saying like he's like, my king has fallen. Now I am full DeSantis.
My king, who I love dearly. I will always say that like being transphobic just makes you so ugly and so miserable. It's
so
wild.
many ways.
It's all you have to do is not be transphobic, and your life expectancy goes up, and the quality of that life goes up.
Well, meanwhile, you can tell basically who Democrats don't want by who they're spending all of their time attacking these days. So who are they attacking? They're not attacking Trump anymore. They're spending each and every day attacking DeSantis with alacrity.
Why alacrity? I bet we're not about to hear anybody doing anything alacritous.
Here's the thing. Does he even know what that means?
Probably because he's a goddamn nerd, but you're speaking like his audience is fucking 80-year-olds, man. And we're about to see him describe Paramore in a way to make sense to 80-year-olds whose kids will not talk to them because and explain Paramore to them, but probably listen to Paramore. So he's going to do it in a way where he would say words like alacrity, and an 80-year-old will go, I definitely know what that means. Hell yeah, brother.
Like,
I definitely know. I definitely understand.
There is a band named Paramore. Since I'm not one of the kids, nor will I attempt to be one of the kids, I have no idea what Paramore is.
Dude, you're like
how the word Paramore is defined.
30s.
Yeah.
You know what Paramore
definitely, hold on, Ben Shapiro age. He is 39. He
knows who
3 years
Paramore
older
is.
than me.
He knows who they are.
I won't be like the kids. Bro. You could just not be into something and then like I'm not like one of the kids. I don't know all the players on a basketball team. Okay. So does that mean
a lot
that
of people
only
don't,
children know the names of basketball players? Why is Trump not on Twitter? I don't know. Are kids on Twitter? That sounds like it's somewhere for the children to play, not for the adults in the room. But you know shit about that. So it's like, that's a weird take for a 39-year-old posing I believe to look like an older, more wise man that this beard and hairline are not fooling.
I don't understand any of it, but apparently it is a band and it plays music, allegedly.
This is the kind of argument you would give on something that was a made up word. Like, I don't know what a Paramore is. It's a band that plays music, I guess. Bro, everyone that you're talking to has heard of a band. You could just say it's a band. Okay, everyone has context now. Do you think you're making fun of a band for being a band because they make music and said some shit to your audience who like has listened to a band before? Your audience loves Led Zeppelin. Your audience loves Aerosmith. They've heard of a band before.
Yeah,
you can't just say,
they're aware of what it is.
It's just like this weird, like it's not even a joke. It's not a joke. It's not an insult. It's not a jab, a goofy little jab at him. Like, oh, Paramore? What are they, like a music band? What do they make music in their band? No, you just sound like an alien. This is my first time ever hearing of music before. I want put it on a
I wonder
phonograph.
what it means.
We're 5 minutes and 59 seconds after skipping a bunch of this and the ads, and I am livid at just his tiniest little dumb, bad, stupid joke.
And the Paramore lead singer is going around telling people not to vote for Ron DeSantis, which, I mean, if the Paramore lead singer says it, I guess according to the Constitution, that means that he can't run anymore.
My God.
He's such a fucking twerp. For my gamers in the audience, you know when like
gamers.
you played Pokemon for the first time and you would like run into your rival and like you've beaten your rival at this point like a bunch of times, but he like keeps coming back and like wants to try to fight your team of Pokemon, but you've like trained a lot too. And like he's a challenge, but it's like, dude, like you're talking mad shit for somebody who keeps losing and like does the same thing as me. He's like, I want to be everyone's rival. He's just talking shit from about people who do the exact same shit he does. Oh, Hayley Williams said, don't vote for DeSantis, so we have to listen to her. Bitch, why do we have to listen to you?
Yeah, like, dude, you've said not to vote for literally everybody but DeSantis, probably anybody but Trump, everything like that. Like, what, again?
So is that comfortable enough for anyone?
Okay, apparently her name is Hayley Williams, and I also looked up the name of the band. Apparently Paramore, like spelled More. It was the maiden name of one of the members of the band. So like that, wow, just a lot of Dixie Chicks vibes right there.
This guy just said, I read a Wikipedia page on where the band name came from. So
God.
Fuck them. Like, what?
I feel like he also like looked down at his like doc/wiki page that's open right now and said, what is the biggest insult of comparison I can come up with right now? Because he stopped there and like looked like he was thinking about it.
So obviously Ben is doing this from like, he has writers, he has people who are assembling his show, putting it on with him, giving him a script, giving him the things to react to. And obviously he's probably reading most of this or like having like his talking points in front of him. And like, I'm sorry, but as somebody who's been a content creator for, months, us like doing this as like React content, like he's got no content. Like he's got bad jokes. He's got a team of writers that are coming up with just duds for him. Like, I read that the band was named after the maiden name of one of the members of the band. Can you believe it? Like, what are you talking about?
Like, there's bands out there named after the stupidest things or even like similar things. Like just
the band was named after the lead singer's last name, Bon Jovi. That's ridiculous. Who would name a band after a last name? What the fuck are you talking about? You're so dumb.
It's so stupid.
It's a bad. It's
not even an argument.
Like, they named them all after Jonas Brothers. There's no joke there. There's no goof. There's no bits. There's nothing there, man. You could have made like a goof if you wanted to be like, oh my God, they spelled it differently than like the actual word Paramore and like done a riff of that if you were clever.
Remember that time the Dixie Chicks were like, we will oppose George W. Bush with every breath in our bodies, and then he won 2 terms as president? So yeah, it's going well. Meanwhile,
first of all, it didn't go well for Dixie Chicks because it was like a really different situation and time.
Correct. It was a very weird time for Dixie Chicks to come out against the Iraq War.
And they were also in the country music area, which, we all know how that.
Yes. And obviously
fan base sometimes acts.
Yes. We look back and we say, you know what, actually, yeah, it was kind of fucked up. Like most people our age were not really pro Iraq War. And
we were children.
Yeah. But like we grew up like with it and said, oh yeah, this does kind of suck. Also, yeah, you're right. George Bush was a 2-term president. But if he was so good, why not 3?
Look at FDR.
We need mics that I can drop.
Yeah, just like,
grab just
old
like
mics,
like prop mics. Anyway, Ben Shapiro's no content have an ass called Paramore bad to listen to because they were named after the maiden name of a band member, which is not actually the true point. That's not the point. That's not the point. He's stupid. He's a bad faith argumenter. He believes that anybody who has a different opinion than him is wrong, and he looks twerpy. and he's acting like a twerp. I agree with Hayley. Do not vote for DeSantis. Vote for Donald Trump.
Stop. Could you imagine actually like being in that stadium? I feel like if you're there, I feel like if you're in like that type of like community and you're there and you haven't just looked at their social medias over the last like 5 years, because they post on their stories that's very like pro LGBTQA plus, like very pro like BLM, everything like that. So it's like, like if you're a fan and you went there, you're like, oh my God, I'm so shocked. Can you believe it? It's like, no, there's like big flashing red lights. Like,
I like we said earlier about like, I want our artists to keep politics out of their mouth. And it's like, if you don't like that they're talking about politics, it's not something you have to listen to. And if you are having the internal conflict of whether or not you want to listen to a band that disagrees with your politics, that kind of is like a conversation for you to have with yourself. And I think it's good that artists are saying something. I think that in general, he's right in the case that like the Dixie Chicks did say some shit about George W. Bush and he did win. And that says more about our country and about country music scene and how the Dixie Chicks spoke out. And like, obviously we need to have artists saying these things. Somebody who is in Paramore's audience who comes out and was like, I'm kind of interested in what DeSantis is doing down in Florida. Oh, wait, why is Hayley Williams, an artist that I really respect and adore, saying this about Ron DeSantis? And maybe I need to do some investigation on this. And I think it might be a small thing. And I think, speaking of small things, Ben Shapiro, I think that he is also like making it a bigger thing for his own content. But at the same time, you got to make the point and the case that like, hey, we as an artist are not here just for you to listen to our music and not appreciate what we stand for and what we believe in. I think that's a fair thing for them to do.